But
So this is a good opportunity to explain to the audience what a critical edition is, because what you created is a critical edition, and some people think critical means you're criticizing the
yeah, I
text.
know they
So
do.
explain what that means.
Well, it just means judgment. It comes from the Greek word krites, meaning judgment. You're making a judgment as to how the text should read. You're also allowing, a critical text allows notes for the reader to see the alternatives. So they can make a judgment if they wish to take a different position, looking at the apparatus and what the variants are. So a critical edition is one that allows the reader to see the evidence for the reading. One of the readings is selected in the text, but the other ones are in the apparatus. So,
and look, we have that for the New Testament. There's the Nestle Aland, I believe we're up to 28, right, where if you read the Greek text, and on the bottom, there's a bunch of notes that say, in some manuscripts it has this word, and in some manuscripts, right, this verse is missing. Or this, let's say there's what's famously like the long ending of Mark isn't in the early manuscript.
That's right.
So you did that for the Book of Mormon, and we have that for the Tanakh. We have the BHS and now the BHQ, which, quite frankly, aren't nearly as sophisticated as Nestle Aland. We had somebody in 1776, Benjamin Kennicott. He's the last one to do like a very thorough critical edition of the Old Testament. So we're a bit behind the times when the Old Testament studies, but
it's a lot harder in many respects. I know the Greek have all these manuscripts and fragments and stuff like that, but
like the Hebrew University Bible Project is doing that for the Old Testament, but they started in the 60s and they're like 5 books in out of 24. So
I know the original editors won't be alive.
No, they're not alive. The original editors,
they're already dead.
But like, just to give you an example, let's say in the Old Testament, I was reading the other day in the book of Zechariah, there's a certain word that's written with this vowel in every manuscript, but then there's a rabbi in the 12th century who says, well, there's this other vowel there, and here's what it means. Well, wait a minute, that means he had a manuscript that had that other reading, right? So that's an example in the Old Testament.